Electricity and Circuit, Chapter 12, Class 6th. Children, all of you familiar with electricity, its importance. Now the chapter is Electricity and Circuit. In this chapter, we will study about importance of electricity in our daily life. Electric current and its sources. Electric cell and its types. Parts of a dry cell. Electric circuit and its component, working of an electric torch, and distinguishing conductors from insulator, or we can say differences between conductors and insulator, and observing safety rules when using electricity. Children, we enjoy our summer vacation a lot, and imagine if on a hot summer day there is a long power cut, or generally it happens, then would you still have as much fun as you did earlier? No. Now our fan, our AC and cooler, they are not working. So we are feeling very hot and we are not enjoying at that time. So we identify the reason for this, that is the electricity cut. And you will find that all the gadgets and devices which makes our life comfortable work on electricity. You are seeing the pick of fridge or refrigerator and the washing machine. These work only on electricity. These all gadgets, fridge, washing machine, computer, microwave, oven, all run or work on electricity. And if electricity is cut, then out of these appliances no one work. Fan, air conditioner, refrigerator, computer, washing machine, bulb, tube light, microwave, oven, etc. These are some devices which always work on electricity. And can you name some gadgets which make our life comfortable in winter? So these are heater, heater, room heater. They make our life comfortable in winter also. These devices also run or work by electricity. Children, now you have understood the importance of electricity. Now the topic is electric current. We cannot imagine today's world without electricity, and it is one of the most useful form of energy and can be easily converted into different forms of energy like heat energy, sound energy or light energy. Electricity is produced in power station from where it reaches our homes, shops, factories, offices, etc. through wires and cables. Children, here you are seeing pic of power station and electricity tower. Power station are the places where the electricity is produced, and electricity tower means the electricity is transmitted through cables. Now children, try to identify the pics. It is labeled as mains at home. Mains at home means the main plug. If it is switched off, then your home will not have any electricity supply. And the second pic, this is of electric lamp, and it is glowing electric bulb. When the switch is on, then the bulb glow. Children, I already told you, if today's in today's life we can't imagine life without electricity, and it is one of the most useful forms of energy, and this electricity can be converted into other forms like heat, sound or light energy, and it is produced in the power station from where it reaches our homes, shops, factories, offices, etc. through wires and cables. You are seeing in the pic electricity tower, wires and cables. Through wires and cables it is transmitted to homes, shops, factory, offices, etc. Electricity can be turned on or off with the help of a switch. We can therefore say that electricity is a form of energy and which is transportable and can be controlled, because when we are switching off then we are not getting electricity, when we are turning on then we are getting electricity. So it can be controlled, and transportable means it can be transmitted with the help of cables and wire. Now come to the explore. Can you think of any four devices which can work even when not connected to the switchboards at your home? Means without electricity. The devices which can work without electricity. Children, these devices either work on cell or battery. For example, your torch. Your torch can work even without electricity. Similarly, you can think other three more devices. Sources of electric current. Children, when there is power cut or if electricity is not available, then what we do? Either we use torch or an inverter. Nowadays, most of us are using inverter. So this is used at our homes. So what makes these devices work? Inverter, children, you know this gets charged by the electricity, and when there is cut of the electricity then it starts working. Now come to activity 1. Take a torch, switch it on. When you are switch it on, then you will observe that it glows. Now switch it off. Unscrew the cap from the end and remove the cells. Now screw the cap back. Switch it on. Does it glow now? So what makes the torch glow? A torch gets its energy from a source known as cell. Torch is getting energy from the cell, so it glow. Now electric cell. Electric cell, this is a device, and I think all of you are familiar with it, and this converts chemical energy into electrical energy. In electric cells some chemicals are used, and when they react they produce electrical energy. So electric cell act as a source of electricity. We use electric cells to run many devices like torch, watch, alarm clock, camera, toys, etc. And you might have seen cells of various sizes and shapes being used in daily life. The type of cells used, so this depends on the device for which it is required. Now children, you are seeing the pic of big cells. Big cells, these are used in the geyser, gas geyser also, and button cells which are used in the wrist watches, and pencil cells and used in remote control and different toys, and triple A cell. Parts of a dry cell. Children, whatever cells, button cell, big cells, pencil cells, these all are dry cells. Now we will study about the parts of the dry cell. A simple dry cell consists of a container, and this container is made up of zinc metal. It is a metallic container made up of zinc. And inside the container there is a carbon rod. In the center, carbon rod is there, and this carbon rod is surrounded by a mixture of powdered carbon and manganese dioxide. A paste of ammonium chloride, this surround this mixture from outside. Means the mixture of powdered carbon and manganese dioxide. This is surrounded by a paste of ammonium chloride. Now the cell is sealed from the top to prevent the ammonium chloride paste from drying up. Now children, you are seeing a pic of the dry cell. So look closely at a dry cell. You can see a positive sign at the top near the metal cap and negative sign at the base near the metal disc. These signs indicate the two terminals of a cell. A dry cell has many advantages. It is compact, easy to carry from one place to another, and very convenient to use. On the other hand, these cells cannot be recharged and cannot supply current continuously for a long time. They can supply current only for a short time till their chemicals are used up. Such cells are called primary cells. Some cells can be recharged again and again. These are called secondary cells. The cells which can be recharged again and again are called secondary cells. For example, cells used in mobile phones, laptop, etc. They are also termed storage cells or accumulators because they can be charged again and again. A simple dry cell generally produces very little amount of electricity, and this is the reason why more than one cell is used in a device. To make it work properly, we need more than one cell. Now, warning. If leakage starts in a dry cell, it affects the working of the device in which it is kept. So, cells should be removed from devices when not in use. When we are not using any toy or any device in which cells are used, then we have to remove the cells from the devices. Now, a combination of two or more cells in such a way that more current can be produced. So, this is called a battery. Children, you are seeing a pic of battery of 3 cells. When the 3 cells are connected end to end, like this positive end of one cell is connected to negative end of the other cell. So, such combination is called a battery. Now, activity 2. Our aim is to make our own battery to produce electricity, and for this activity we require 7 medium-sized potatoes, zinc nail, copper wire and a 4.5 volt bulb, a small bulb. Now, method or procedure. First, take the potatoes. In each potato, insert a zinc nail on one end and a copper wire on the other end, just like the pic. You are seeing the pic. Zinc nail on one side and copper wire on the other side. Okay. Now connect the zinc nail of one potato to the copper wire of the other potato by using copper wires. Now connect the electric bulb as shown in the figure. Now observation, we will see that as soon as we connect the bulb, it glows. So this conclude the bulb glows because the whole arrangement acts as a battery. Children, you are seeing potato battery pic. 7 potatoes. These are connected with each other by the help of copper wires. Zinc end of each potato is connected with copper end of the other potato, and this acts as a battery, and as a result the bulb glow.